Let's talk about a new face coming to town. As you said earlier, Josh Dobbs, who really is a player, Larry. Last year, I remember even talking about this with you. I found an awful lot of respect for Josh Dobbs last year. He was just put in a couple of bad situations with very little time to get right. He quick studied playbooks, and he went out and he won on Sundays, and he got the locker room to like him an awful lot in Arizona before he got shipped to Minnesota. In Minnesota, they quickly liked him. And like all backup quarterbacks, the bloom comes off the rose, and when you're out there for too long, you start getting exposed. There are reasons why guys are backup quarterbacks and other guys are starting quarterbacks. You know, you can never really expect to have much success if you're asking for more than 4 or 5 games out of a backup quarterback. If the 49ers had to ask Josh Dobbs for 4 or 5 games, I bet you they'd get through those 4 or 5 games with a 500-ish record. I think that they would do well. I like Josh Dobbs. His teammate likes him. His coaches like him. The interviews that I've seen with the guy, he comes across fantastic. Josh Dobbs is a Niner QB2. I like it.
Well, it's weird. It's like if you saw him play Dallas, if you saw him play against the Niners at Levi's early in the year, you would say, oh, yeah, you kidding me? I can't believe this guy was even available. If you saw him play the Bears on Monday night late in the year where he threw 4 interceptions,
it's bad.
You'd be like, this is the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. So
but that's the nature of being a backup quarterback. It's there with you in one moment, in one scheme, and by the time you get to that next game, it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, his nickname is the Pastronaut. He's an aeronautical engineering major. He's really athletic. He's a good dude. But, the bottom line is he's played 14 games in the NFL. He's 3-11. So, I don't know. I mean, I'll say this. I think the veteran route, I was hoping for Carson Wentz, but I think the veteran route probably makes sense over the rookie route. The rookies, you're really rolling the dice. And, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, any of those guys, even Fields, all those guys really badly need to play. And I don't know that you need a room where your backup quarterback badly needs to play.
Right.
Is a good thing for your starter necessarily.
Right. Deep down inside, he's going to say all the right things, but an injury to Brock Purdy wouldn't be the worst thing that ever happened to my opportunity. So you don't want that guy in the room. It's just,
especially when you're so wed to Brock as your number one guy. If this were a year ago and you weren't really sure and you wanted to take a, flyer on a young veteran that potentially could beat him out, then go for it. This year, I thought it made more sense to go with the veteran. So I was thinking Carson Wentz, maybe Ryan Tannehill. Instead, they go with Josh Dobbs. I'm fine with it. It's a 1-year deal for $2.25 million. The Niners maintain that they have the youngest or the cheapest quarterback room in the league for another year, and it takes another option in the draft off the table, and now you can focus on your O-line and corner and a couple other needs, and that's pretty much it. So overall, I think it's probably a good thing. Their quarterback room is complete and defined. It's Brock's your 1, Dobbs is your 2, Brandon Allen's your 3, and there'll be no movement in that hierarchy. So overall, I they could do worse.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if the X marks the spot is a challenger to the throne backup quarterback was out there, and I'm not even sure you wanted to bring that guy in. Again, you said Brock is so now permanently entrenched in the role. You don't want a challenger in there. You want someone who, God forbid this guy get hurt, can give you 4 or 5 starts. And asking for a backup quarterback to be better than can give you more or 4 or 5 starts is almost an illogical ask. Like, there's a reason why that guy's not a starting quarterback. There's a reason why he was available to you at the price you got him for. So, any team that is on their backup quarterback for a longer stretch than just a couple of weeks is by definition sort of screwed anyways. And it really doesn't matter what else you got going on because you're in trouble in that moment alone. But I do like Josh Dobbs. I think he's going to fit well in the room, wear beige and blend. He's not going to stand out. He's not going to ask for too much attention. He's not going to command any disrespect for anyone to better himself. He's a good kid. He's a military kid too. Got to like military kids. They're brought up the right way. There you go. So there is the kind of quiet 48 hours worth of news. We got a Brandon Ayuk to Pittsburgh rumor that everyone's talking about, and Josh Dobbs is now in that quarterbacking room.